as a month of reflection, recognition, and remembrance of Guam's 76th Liberation Day. At this time, I'd like to recognize the presence of our Honorable Magahaga, Lourdes A. Leon Guerrero, our Governor of Guam, accompanied by her husband, Attorney Jeffrey A. Cook, Finanana Saguan Magahagan Guahan, the First Gentleman of Guam. Also with us from the 35th Guam Legislature, we have in our Zoom room the Honorable Tina Rose Munya Barnes, Speaker of the 35th Guam Legislature. Representing the Mayor's Council of Guam, we have the Honorable Melissa Suarez, President of the Mayor's Council of Guam, and of course, the Mayor of Dededo. Also with us, the Honorable Robert Hoffman, Vice President of the Mayor's Council of Guam, and the Mayor of Sinahanya. Representing our military, we have Major General Esther Agagi, the Adjutant General for the Guam National Guard. We also have Rear Admiral John Manoni, Commander for the Joint Region Marianas, as well as Captain Christopher M. Chase, Commander for the U.S. Coast Guard, Sector Guam, as well as Colonel Joseph L. Sheffield, Commander for the 36th Operations Group. Now I'd like to give the microphone to the Honorable Magahaga, Lulian Guerrero, for her remarks.
Thank you, Crystal. Half a day. I'd like to first say that the Lieutenant Governor is not here with me because he had to attend a funeral of a very close relative, but he did want me to convey his apologies, as he is also out there with his loved ones celebrating a war survivor. She has moved on to the heavens above, who will be very peacefully looking down and protecting our island. So he sends his apologies and is not able to be here today. Just 1 year ago, we celebrated the diamond anniversary of our island's liberation. We went from village to village for memorial services, from Chagian in Jigo to Faja and Tinta in Maleso, to Menengan, Sumai, and Asan Overlook. Each time we laid a wreath, said a prayer, and reflected. On most occasions, we had the honor and the privilege of having our Manamku present with us. They shared their stories of pain, loss, and hunger, but also stories of their faith, hope, and perseverance, though times seemed uncertain for them. While we may not be able to relate to their stories of suffering through occupation, they showed us that even the darkest nights end and the sun will rise, a lesson that still holds true to this very day. Our liberation is possible because of their bravery, their sacrifice, and their will to live. That is why we call them our greatest generation. Fast forward now 70 years and we are at war again. We are battling a very different enemy, an invisible one. COVID-19 is a threat to each of us, but our Manamku are among our most vulnerable. For that reason, we cannot celebrate the way we are used to. We cannot hug or kiss one another or manini our elders. We cannot gather as family to pay homage to their lives. Our grand gestures and memorials must be paused. To honor them together, we must stay apart to keep our loved ones safe from this deadly virus. I ask that each of you use the month of July, not just July 21st, to reflect, recognize, and remember the events of the Japanese occupation. We can pray, we can speak with Manamku from a distance or by telephone or video call, because we must remember that while their memories will last forever, the sun must eventually set. You can also thank a veteran. And if you have a Guam or American flag at home or business, please display them proudly to honor the brave men and women who answered the call to service, an act that secured our freedom, our way of life, and the peace and prosperity we enjoy today. While the only end to current war we're living is a vaccine, we each can do our battle in this war. I call upon each of you to wear a face mask in public, practice social distancing, and practice good hygiene. These simple actions are our best weapons in this fight. Maila pagu zata hasu tori dise manhano motna, zata taitagui, zata nai todo ni honra and ni pas para todo I familia niya, zan todo I sacrificio ni matsogi para uma protehi I dirisota zanini lata. Sidus Masi, and thank you, and Biba Liberation Day.
Biba.
Thank you, Governor. Now for remarks from the Honorable Tina Rose Munya-Barnes, Speaker of the 35th Guam Legislature.
Si Zeus Masi, Cristo, and before I start my presentation, I'm joined with my two interns from the Public Policy Institute, Chelsea from St. John and Sojong from Harvest Christian Academy. Governor, thank you so much for affording us this opportunity to be here proclaiming July 2020 as the month of reflection, recognition, and remembrance of Guam's 76th Liberation Day. Hafa Day, buenas, and many blessings to each and every one of you here as we take the time to reflect on what our island has been through for the past 76 years. We cannot imagine the distress that our Manaina has endured during the times of war, and trying to heal from the years of trauma and waiting to receive recognition and compensation in the end. Forgiveness wipes away the tears of war, but we shall never forget the suffering that came along with it as we continue to promote peace throughout the world. We, my children, my grandchildren, myself, my husband, were raised on this beautiful island that was created from the sacrifices of our elders. Within these 76 years, many things have occurred. Wars where loved ones were lost, climate change, including typhoons, wildfires, earthquakes, political changes, the growth of technology and diversity, and our most current enemy, the COVID-19 virus. Governor Magahaga, Honorable Liu, and Lieutenant Governor Tenorio, I want to emphasize how grateful I am for your support of our initiative to pay our survivors. And even to our congressmen, I am hopeful and glad that we are continuously fighting for this one goal, to do right by our greatest generation. Our scientists taught us the importance of perseverance, collaboration, and unity with the spirit of Enough Famalik as the people of the island. Today, now more than ever, we need to reflect on the teachings of our elders to navigate the trying times ahead. We definitely overcame many situations in the past 76 years. With this current invisible enemy, COVID-19, we too can overcome this pandemic, but we must do this together with the cooperation of our island. And Governor, I must say that it is through the support and collaboration that our greatest generation, who soul, the reason why we are here today, that they have at least received that little compensation for what they rightfully deserved. And I want to say on behalf of the 35th Guam Legislature, our people of Guam, Undongkula si Zeus Masi, Biba Manamko, Biba Liberation, and Biba Guam. Si Zeus and Bini DC, Saina Masi, and happy liberation.
Jesus Masi, Speaker. And now for remarks from Mayor Savares. If you can unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, Governor and First Gentleman, Speaker, and all those that are here today. On behalf of the Mayor's Council of Guam, we would like to express our sincere gratitude for all of our signers. Recently, in the past few months, we've had a lot of time to reflect on what has gone on with our island. And when we talked to our Manamkus and explained to them why they couldn't participate in senior citizen activities, we had a lot of time to reflect. They said it was just like World War II during the times of the invasion. They had to go to concentration camps. And so during that time, a lot of stories were told and spoken among the seniors that we serve today. So our reflections over the last few months continue to enhance on the stories that they share, their stories that they share of the past, what they endured. And these are our seniors that we continue to look up to, for advice and guidance. Uh, that's Those are our seniors our manamkos that we continue to see on a daily basis in our villages that are dwindling down in numbers. They're leaving us today, leaving the earth. um, and then to recognize them. We just finished in May. We usually celebrate Senior Citizen Month. We're going to do a virtual senior citizen celebration in the coming months, but that all ties in with recognizing the great things and that we learned from our manamkos uh, over the years. And then we want to remember those that have also served in our armed forces and continue to fight for our freedom, for the rights of our people. And on behalf of our Mayor's Council of Guam, we still want to reflect on the different memorials that we have throughout our island. And we want to share and bring those who continue to pray that one day this year we will be able to come together and still continue to reflect on the different atrocities that our island, our Manamkos have faced during the war. 76 years is a long time and our stories continue to be told. But it's up to us out in the communities to continue to tell their stories. So I'd like to thank you for giving us the opportunity, and we too will be sharing with our villagers, our residents, the remembrance of liberation this month. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Tavares. Now for remarks from Rear Admiral John Manoni, Commander for the Joint Region Marianas.
Good afternoon. Liberation Day is a milestone in the relationship between the U.S. military and the people of Guam. This day is a solemn reminder of the monumental struggle, pain, and sorrow that World War II brought to the Indo-Pacific region, especially here on Guam. Yet today is also an opportunity to reflect on how far we've come and all the successes that the people of Guam and your military have accomplished by working together. Each year, your sailors, airmen, Marine, soldiers, Coast Guardsmen, and National Guardsmen are honored to take part in Liberation Day festivities. Today, we face the unanticipated and unprecedented challenge of a global pandemic. As a result of our collective precautionary measures, we can't commemorate the importance of liberation and celebrate our collective successes as we have in the past. Now, while it's critically important that we do all we can to stem the spread of the virus, it is also equally and extremely important for us to continue to recognize and honor the bravery, perseverance, and unerring faith of the Chamorro people, and to remember the valor of all the service members who selflessly put their lives on the line for Guam's liberation. I am personally continually humbled and grateful for the hospitality and friendship from the people of Guam. I am proud to be able to serve with and for all the people of this region, and I am honored to be part of your military. I look forward to continuing our strong relationship and honoring our shared legacy in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Admiral Manoni. And now I will proceed to read the proclamation. Hagutnya Guam, Proclamation 2020-25. A proclamation of the governor proclaiming July 2020 as a month of reflection, recognition, and remembrance of Guam's 76th Liberation Day. Whereas, on December 8, 1941, hours after the attack on Pearl Harbor, warplanes attacked Sumai and Piti, marking the start of the Japanese invasion and a 3-year occupation of Guam, in which Chamorro people were enslaved and endured one of the most tragic and horrific enemy occupations of the 20th century. And whereas, on July 21, 1944, American troops liberated our people, a day that will become the island's most celebrated holiday. And whereas, in addition to signature festivities such as the Liberation Carnival, Queen Coronation, and Liberation Day Parade and fireworks display, events also include memorial services at massacre sites throughout the island to remember those who suffered the atrocities of war, as well as honor and celebrate our war survivors, Guam's greatest generation. And whereas, the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic threatens the health and safety of our people, most especially our beloved Manamco, who are most vulnerable to the virus. And whereas, some of the best defenses against the spread of COVID-19 are the use of face masks, social distancing, frequent hand washing, and limitations on social gatherings. And whereas, although the invisible enemy prevents us from celebrating together, the spirit of liberation lives on through the people of Guam. And whereas, we are all encouraged to use the month of July to reflect, recognize, and remember the events of the Japanese occupation through prayer, by speaking with Manamco, by thanking a veteran, and by proudly displaying the Guam and American flags to honor the brave men and women who answered the call of duty to secure our freedom, our way of life, our peace, and prosperity.
Now, therefore, I, Lourdes de Leon Guerrero, Magahagan Guahan, Governor of Guam, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Organic Act of Guam as amended, do hereby proclaim July 2020 as a month of reflection, recognition, and remembrance of our Guam's 76th Liberation Day. Guam flags will be flown at half-staff from July 17th through the 24th, 2020, to pay tribute to our fallen and serve as a reminder of our painful past and the progress made since the Japanese occupation. In witness whereof, together with the Lieutenant Governor of Guam, we hereby cause the Great Seal of Guam to be affixed in the capital city of Fagana on this second day of July in the year of our Lord, Anno Domini 2020. Viva Guam, happy Liberation Day, and let's all be safe. Thank you, and Sidus Masit.
Viva!
We do have members of the media present with us in our Zoom room. I welcome you to unmute your mics and ask your questions relevant to the subject matter at hand, which is the liberation and liberation festivities.
Hi, this is Oya from the Guam Daily Post. How are you, Madam Governor?
Fine, thank you, Oya.
Hafiday, First Gentleman. I wanted to find out what are the plans, if any, then? Are you asking the community just to kind of celebrate in our own way, in our own homes?
I'm asking really our community, yes, to reflect again and remember our past fallen, and to just maybe reflect with family and friends about the Japanese occupation and the progress that we've made moving forward with our island, and how we continue to be blessed with the many good things that we see on our island here. And asking also the people of Guam in celebration and honor to display their Guam flags and their American flags in their homes. You know, you can get those flags, stick it on the ground, or just hang it out on your front entrance. Is just to, again, honor all those that have fallen for the fight of our freedom. And We are also probably looking to see if maybe we can just play reruns of our last parade on the 75th, because that has been a very significant and I think very amazing celebration. But yes, just enjoy at home.
Thank you, ma'am. One other thing, as the 4th of July and the month of July comes up, there's always a lot of celebration. What message do you have for the community? As most often we traditionally get together, families, friends, we gather, typically. So what message do you have for the community?
My message is to remain safe, and my message is to protect yourselves, protect your families, protect your loved ones. I certainly want people to celebrate significant events, but to also follow the initiatives and the directives that we have put forward, all in the name of protecting our community. Please wear your face mask, try to social distance as much as we can possibly social distance, hand washing, and remember that if you start feeling any symptoms, to please call your doctor and make sure that you get tested also, all in the name again of trying to actually liberate ourselves from this god awful virus that continues to be very active in our community. And as we are seeing throughout the United States, it's a very serious, disastrous situation. So I do want our people to celebrate with their loved ones. I do want our people to honor our fallen, both those in the military and our civilians. But most of all, maybe just sit down and reflect on what we have gone through during the war, what our parents have gone through during the war, and reflect on our blessings that we have, reflect on the fact that because of them, we remain to be free, we remain to have rights, we remain to have a well livelihood, and we remain to protect our culture and our way and generosity and the uniqueness of our island. And most of all, we are able to continue loving each other.
Thank you, ma'am. If I may ask a question of Rear Admiral Manoni. Sir, there are a couple of events that are being held this month in honor of 4th of July. Just wanted to know what sort of precautions are in place to ensure the safety of those who are participating.
So with respect to the 4th of July this weekend, and I think people saw the news release that went out from JRM yesterday, we're emphasizing all the same mitigation measures that the governor just spoke about, whether it's physical distancing, wearing your masks, good hygiene, staying home if you're sick. We're asking not just the military community and the active duty service members across the island, but also dependents and anybody associated with the military that we can reach out to follow those rules strictly to protect themselves, their families, their shipmates, and then ultimately our mission. With respect to some of the events like the fireworks display that's going to happen in Opera Harbor this weekend, we're limiting that to people who have base access, though we're doing it in the harbor so we can get the maximum amount of visuals for the people of Guam so people can see it. We're not doing any sort of public gathering. We're prohibiting any large groups gathering. We're asking people to either view it from their homes on base, from the different overlooks, or to stay in their vehicles. And we're actually allowing a little bit more liberal traffic control and parking on base to ensure that people can view it safely from within the confines of their limited social group.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Governor.
Happy day, Governor.
Happy day,
Happy day,
Governor.
everyone. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Tomas.
All right. Hi, it's Tomas with I-94. I just wanted to ask Governor, in anticipation of some gatherings this weekend for Liberation Day, I wanted to ask because in an interview with KUAM, Public Health Medical Director Dr. Jana Manglotnya said there's a pattern that indicates the climb in positive cases started when they lifted restrictions for quarantine. What discussions are you and your physicians advisory group having now? And what's the likelihood we will see a change in the home quarantine protocols amid some upcoming celebrations?
So we're not changing any of the home quarantine protocols. We continue to remain vigilant and enforce and comply and ask for compliance to those home quarantine protocols. As far as social gatherings, we do have an initiative or directive to limit it to 25. And we are also directing and asking that you continue to wear your mask and also to social distance. One of the biggest prevention of exposure and transmission is your face mask. And so I am actually very encouraged because when I go out there, I do see people wearing face masks. So as far as social gatherings, I am continuing to ask that we implement those measures that have been known to help prevent. The public health is saying that most of the positives that they are looking at in terms of contact tracing, most of the interviews show that the cases were either linked to a social gathering, and so it's very important. I think we expect to see an increase in positive because we are increasing mobility and we are lifting restrictions. It's something that we know will happen, and I think our strategy of these preventive measures will continue, and as a result, I believe that we will still contain our virus to the low positive rate.
All right. Thank you.
Happy day, Governor. It's Nestor at KOAM. I just wanted to see if you would comment on the fact that as we celebrate Liberation this month, there are those both here and in the U.S. mainland that see the protocols to protect ourselves, the COVID-19 protocols, as an impingement on their freedom. I wonder if you could compare and contrast those views.
So I don't really believe that it's an impingement on your freedom. I think it's more of your personal responsibility to protect your family and to protect your community, because if we don't, we won't be able to enjoy these rights and freedoms that we enjoy now. So that's the attitude I think we should take. It's very nominal, Nestor, to just put on your mask. I don't think that's a prevention of any of your freedom. You're still free to go out there. You're still free to express yourself. You're still free to go to church. You're still free to congregate with your friends and family. It's just that this one measure is going to be the one that would help continue making our public health a safe environment. So I don't believe that it is an infringement on a person's personal freedom. I do not.
Thank you, Governor. Hello, Jeff.
Happy Liberation.
We're like this at home too. We wear a mask at home.
Any other questions from the members of our media? If not, thank you so much for joining us today, and Viva Liberation.
Viva!